Cool, so we're talking about the RANGE X-ALPS harness. Just had a 2-hour flight, kind of soaring conditions, and had a 1 or 2 hour flight yesterday in it. Really impressed. I'm very impressed with how comfortable it is for being such a light harness. I thought it was going to feel like a mountain harness and, you know, just be string and pulling in odd places, but it's super comfy. The back support and the amount of adjustment that you can make on the sides means that your back is completely supported around the back. My legs are really comfortable. It's a sort of straight out leg position pod, compared to something like the Calibri where you've got your legs at a little angle. I actually prefer the straight legs. I find it's just more chilled out. Feels very, very comfortable, like a hammock. Really feels like a hammock. It's a bit wallowy, in that you don't really have a lot of sort of contact with the glider. You feel like you're kind of sitting in a hammock, which is very chilled out. I actually like it. I don't need to have lots and lots of feedback from the harness. I can feel what the glider's doing, and if you need to crank a turn in, you can lean it and turn it round, sure, but most of the time you're in that kind of like hammocked position. So very comfy, very chilled out. I could just fly for hours in that for sure. When you put the speed bar on, you're certainly feeling the line pulling around your back, so you can feel the lightness of the harness there. You can feel a thin speed bar line like pulling on your butt, and there's a little bit of a pressure on either side where the main leg loops, the sort of one that goes up to the carabiner and supports your weight. There's a little bit of a lump there, so that's kind of pushing on your hips slightly, very, very slightly. I mean, I've got narrow hips, so it depends on what your shape is. That's the backpacking area. Now I've just managed to get my Calibri backpack in here, which has got some kind of rigidity to it, but it's basically just the length of that. There's very little space. I mean, you can put in the jacket there, you know, you can fit in the jacket easily. You can fit in you know, your lunch and your bag basically, and that's it. I've got a little bit of gear with me which I managed to get in, but it was a real challenge. I really had to be careful how I put it in. Having said that, the back support is separate from the backpack. There's the back, that's where you're packing your stuff in, and you're sitting in this hammock here, which has got these rods, reinforcing rods, 1, 2, 3 across it. So, you know, you don't actually feel what's in the back here, what's been packed in there, but the space is pretty limited. Very clever little system. Just 2 pins that are coming in from underneath, and that leads through to the handle. The handle's there. Fairly beefy foam. Needs quite a lot of pressure to compress it, so it means your backpack is quite a big volume when you pack it into the backpack. But nice thing is you can whip this foam out and use the bag to put all your bivvy stuff in. So if you've got odds and ends like clothes and a tent or something like that, and some water, a water bag, you can put it in and get it into a good shape for the harness. That's very useful. Good thinking, Skywalk. Very nice. Right at the top here, this is paraglider fabric, but the interior of the pod, main bulk of the pod, is a nice, this is pretty strong black fabric, slippery, and I think it's gonna stand up to wear. It's nice and strong there. You can adjust the length of how tight the pod's being pulled and how long the pod is just by jumping some of these little knots. Okay, very tidy. Really nice little speed system. I found it excellent, really easy to just put your foot in, hook, very easy to engage like that. So overall, that RANGE X-ALPS harness, 1.5 kilograms. It's the lightest pod that I know of. It's a full racing pod, and very nice to fly and very comfortable. Feels reassuring in the air. I did some wing overs and spirals, feels good. Only weak point I'd say is if you hitting a lot of turbulence and you want to sit up into sort of an SIV position, you slide around in the leg strap sort of bowl. You really need to have your feet out on the pod the whole time, so you got to sort things out with your legs out straight. It kind of means you're forced to be supine all the time. But if you're happy being completely supine, it's a very comfortable position to fly in. And yeah, the harness is really sleek in the air. It's really aerodynamic, feels good, looks good, and it's insanely light. So good job, Skywalk. Love it. Thanks.